Greetings, my queens and kings, if you stopping by. Welcome back to my channel. I hope we are all doing well. I hope we've been out there doing our early voting. You know what I'm saying? We are fighting for our lives out here in these streets. We are fighting for our freedom. So, get on board, do the right thing, get your vote in early. But definitely, if you can't, come on, y'all. Let's get out there on November 5th and make your voice heard. Okay, so now we're gonna hop up in here. But thank you if you're new and stopping by. Come on down to the tribe. Definitely, you are appreciated. Each and every one of my subscribers. I love you. Smooches. And definitely share with your friends and family and get in here and give your opinion on what happened. This episode was a little boring, but let's get into it. So we have Robin. He came on in here, like Captain Save a Hoe. Excuse me, my bad, Andy. You're not a hoe girl. But he flew in there like, he was Superman trying to help Lois Lane. But our boy here was upset, like, what are you doing here? And he's like, do you have her on formal charges? Like, why are you holding Andy when you have nothing on her? So Andy, my thing is, what the deal is with Robin. Put in the comments. Now supposedly he's saying he was out in London helping the other firm. Last I knew, when Robin left, Gary and Hayden was plotting to try to get him out the company, buy the company from up under him, even though he's supposed to be the owner or what have you. Now Andy made partner. I don't know, if I guess he was keeping tabs on her. He tells Andy before that, he was there, found out that the old dude died, so he came in here to help, help with the firm, tighten up some loose ends, and then I guess he found out about her. But old boy thought he was gonna scare him, talking about get out of here. But Robin basically said, listen, I know your boss and I play golf with your boss's boss. So get out the way. I'm taking her. I represent her. So step off. And my man couldn't say anything because Robin got friends in high places. Now, I don't know if I actually believe the story, that it's that cut and dry, that he, still, in love with Andy, want to save her, found out about her trying to marry Gary. He got to feel some kind of way because, supposedly she was plotting with Gary when it was time to run him, out of Dodge and take the company. Even though she said she didn't know, she ain't had nothing to do with that. He may believe her, but you just coming in because the old guy been died. So you could have been came and tied up loose ends. Why now? Like, all of a sudden you want to save her. But Andy was pissed off because, Robin mentioned that he's in critical condition, but Gary's not dead. So at that point, why are you holding her? Now Andy got pissed off because she found out that, now you holding me here, having me think, trying to get information, pressing me and my friends, knowing good and darn well that Gary was still alive. So, these two going toe to toe. And at this point, she pissed off. She going off on the detective. And so, Robin giving her a little smile, talking about we basically can go. So that was it with that situation. The detective wasn't getting anywhere. Now it's just a point of attempted murder. Who tried to kill him? I guess you feel that Andy has the best reason for killing him. Many people had a lot of reasons for killing him. I don't think Andy is the one. She basically said her words, went off on him, and they left. But I'm still looking at Robin and finding out what his ulterior motive is to come back, because it's more than meets the eye. So what do you think? What do you think that Robin is really there to help her, or he's plotting on something? We'll see. So now Gary's friend, who I do not trust, I would not be surprised if he was the one who killed Gary. I never trusted this guy. He was really weird to me. I get the heebie-jeebies with him because he looks like he's so very dark, but so is Gary. So I can see why they're friends. And so he's trying to peep on his condition and acting like he's so concerned. But I think he's really upset he made it. Now, we know our girl is going through a little something. I think she's still a little stressed over the situation or what happened down at the police station. Now she's, really concerned about Andy because Andy is really the prime suspect, even though they questioning him. Now she tries to still get, in Tony's pants, but he's not trying to hear that. He's trying to psychoanalyze her, and they going back and forth with this whole thing of wanting to sleep with him. And she's like, no, I want to do it. There's nothing wrong with me. I have a therapist, and I don't need you really basically trying to be my therapist too. Tony, sometimes always thinking like, kind of treat, oh God, I can't even think, Danny like she's some kind of broken toy, even though, he loves the sexual side of her. He knows it. Now our girl Tamera comes up in there. Now why Tamera, after Hayden went off on her, called her all kind of names and kicked her out of his house? Why would you want to come? Now, outside of Gary's friend, I'm looking at these two right here, as prime suspects as well. Now, why would you come back, Tamera? Do you really need Hayden that much? Or when he told her that he wanted to plot and join forces, she was so quick to say yeah, because both of them really need an alibi, because both of them really got a good reason to do him in. Did you not, Tamera basically telling him, you didn't, why you running out of town? He trying to say it's a business trip. She was like, well, did you kill Gary? Like, why? Because she was, of course, upset what you saw on the tape. Me and him had sex. She don't seem to regret it at all. Why Hayden giving her the time of day? I don't know, because I would have put her out and slammed the door in her face. Now, here we have Rich with Sabrina, trying to give her a little loving or whatever. I don't know if she's going to get to the job or what. She's been trying to get to the job since last week and ain't get there yet. But, he's saying he's there for her. But with the insemination thing, she has to hold off. I guess what she went through with the whole in vitro, she got to like hold off because something ain't right down there for 2 weeks or whatever. And he like, wow, 2 weeks. And then, she trying to wrap her mind around the whole situation. It was still a little traumatic for her. So, he just going to have to hold off and get some later. So that was kind of boring. But now you have Pam here, with her girl. Gabe came to the job, give her a little, her almond croissant that she likes so much, talking about the business because they are in business together. So a lot of the products and stuff I think she has stored at Karen's house as well. But, now they in partnership. I guess Karen don't mind it, but she told her she got to get her stuff together as far as her products and come up with a business plan. And Pam said she's good with the social media part, and maybe Pam can deal when it comes to the business part. And so she's helping her with that. So now you have Courageous Cat and Minute Mouse here, trying to, Bonnie and Clyde trying to figure out who stabbed Gary. They got the knife, they got all the suspects, the yarn, trying to put this all together. They, even Fatima said, you got this kind of mapped out kind of good. She like, why am I on the board? But then she was like, okay, I get it. Because, I am a suspect too. So they all got to be on the board. Like, who would do it? So I'm really trying to figure out, do you think these two will figure out or have enough evidence to pinpoint who tried to who tried to kill Gary? And so, they really just trying to decipher this puzzle and figure out what's going on. Now, these two get back to the house. And, of course, Andy's grateful that he came. And this is when, he basically explained about coming in after Linwood or whatever the old guy that died, coming by to tie up some loose ends and everything. But, yeah, he knows what was going on. He wants to know, do you still love Gary or whatever? She was like, no, you don't got to worry about that. She really didn't tell him the situation. He knows about her and Jordan, but she doesn't, she didn't really get into what Gary had on her that would make her want to marry him. So, I guess they trying to rekindle a little bit. I think she kind of missed him. It was good seeing old Robin, and I'm glad he's back. I just want to know what the real deal is. Now these two here, they going back and forth, arguing, calling each other names, and is just like really annoying at this point because I don't know why either one of them are bothering with each other. But after talking, he tried to say that the people would suspect her because of the tape and him choking her and all this kind of stuff. And of course, you upset because you was sleeping with him and he probably promised you things, but was gonna marry Andy. And she thinks he's a jealous guy who went and did it. So they came to some type of agreement that they will both have each other's back. I guess if they're questioned in all of this, both having motives, they will look out for each other and probably be a alibi for one another. And then she want to sit up there and go down on him, which I'm like, you really Hayden? You ain't gonna turn that down. You ain't that mad at her, huh? So now, yeah, Sabrina's going through the whole situation with Andy, and just, I guess that, being in that tough situation. And he's trying to huddle and get romantic. And this is the part where she told him that, he pretty much have to hold off. And his thing is like 2 weeks. And she was like, yeah, we're going to have to wait the 2 weeks because I don't know. I think something is sensitive from what she's been going through. So that was that. Now, they still going through this little riff between Danny and Tony. He made her breakfast and, just trying to make sure that she's okay. And one of the things that I agreed with her on was that, leave the therapy to me. She spoke to her therapist. If there's anything she needs to resolve, she'll do it with her. Because sometimes, I think Tony gets a little too, you know, he gets himself a little too involved in what is going through with Danny. And if she's going through her therapy, which she knows, let her handle that on her own. Sometimes you can't be my man and try to be my therapist and always advise me on things. You can give your opinion, but certain things you have to let go, because maybe she just want a little relief and a little loving from her man. It's not like she's trying to avoid anything. If she needs to combat any issue, she'll deal with her therapist for that. So Pam, I love the dynamic with the friendship and the business. I think they really matured as far as, the hair products. And so Karen's going to take some time to look into the business side for her. And I think they can have something really going good, really make some money, Karen, to keep her business afloat. And also really, empower Pam, because Miss Marie is helping them. And, they can really work on this together, because one of the things, Miss Marie is not going to give her money into something and you don't have this strategized in the best way. So at this point, Sabrina is finally getting ready to go to work. Tony and her have a discussion because, he really pissed off with Andy still about, you wouldn't even been in this situation if it wasn't for Andy. And, he hurt his boy Jordan. So he really don't want to hear nothing about her and really could care less if Andy's in trouble or not. And I don't blame him. So now they done did the do, and I guess they'll talk later. Hayden getting ready for work. Now all of a sudden I thought you was going out of town, Hayden. Now you getting ready for work. So what happened with you all of a sudden running out of town? But now you sleeping with her. Don't seem like you rushing to go out of town. Now this is just like too wishy-washy. Like what is going on with them? Why you was running but now you're not running? So you was running from something, but now that you feel you have an alibi with Tamera, you don't have to go again. So why did you think you had to go the first time? So they making me real suspect. It may be just to throw us off. So now these two are still plotting, I guess, on how they're going to deal with the situation with Gary and finding out his murder and who it could be. But one of the things that Fatima had to correct Zach on is that no, he's not a killer. He didn't die. Who attempted to kill him or tried to kill him? He was like, wow, I guess, this guy got 9 lives. So, Robin and Andy are still having their little, Andy and Robin are still having their little discussion. And I don't know. I just really am suspicious on Robin's real reason for wanting to help her. The situation with Gary, I'm sure he's still upset. and not happy about what Gary tried to do with him. But I think that he's kind of wanted to save Andy because he wanted to get into something with her on this whole situation with Gary. It's more to it. I guess we just have to wait and find out. But he was there to comfort her and help her at that point. But then the girls come in because they wanted to see her after, I guess, the whole jail situation, and they like, what do we have going on here? Like, Robin is back. What, you got your old boo? So it looked like they got caught into something. Robin had this little smirk on his face because he know the girls. And yeah, our old boy is plotting, and Danny is loving every minute of it. And me too. So we gotta find out what's going on, y'all. So until next time. One thing I need to say is that next week it better be better. It better be juicier. But I did see somebody with a syringe going in Gary's room with some poison. And for some reason, I really feel like it's Gary's friend, his partner. I don't know. What y'all think? They better hurry up and give us some more clues as to who did this. Because right now, I'm pretty bored. What do y'all think? So until next time, family, peace.